Hi there, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
We're at Milton Players Theatre and we're talking to Mr. Steve Prevost he's the director of the Mousetrap. So tell us about yourself. How did you get started directing plays?
Well, I've been a member of the Milton Players for over 25 years now. And I started off on the stage doing some acting and whatnot. And I was just asked if I would consider directing. At the time, I didn't feel I had a whole lot of experience in directing, and I kind of declined at the beginning. However, they kept persisting, and I said, I'll tell you what, we're doing a play in Georgetown. If you consider doing that play down in Milton, I'll consider directing it. And that's how it happened. They slotted the next play in for the following year, and I ended up directing it. But there was a process involved in learning how to direct. During that summer, I took a workshop in directing put on by a member of Georgetown Little Theatre, which lasted the summer. And as a project, I used that play which I was to direct as my core study.
Oh, okay, right.
And that's how I got into directing.
So what kind of plays have you done, when you were acting back in the day?
Well, the plays that I like to do would be more in types of comedy plays. I've done a couple of dramas, but I seem to favor comedies more than others. And that goes true for directing too. I guess most of the plays that I have directed have been comedies.
And how do you land this role directing more of a, murder mystery, the Agatha Christie Mousetrap?
Yeah, the Mousetrap is a classic whodunit murder mystery, written by Agatha Christie, who's a genius in terms of writing these types of things. And it's not without humor. There's a bit of humor in it, but it's more of a drama than a comedy.
Is it kind of like this, like dinner, where you go, it's kind of like a dinner in a show, in a way where someone, where it's a bit of comedy, a bit of you got to solve who did what murder, kind of in that concept?
Like a murder mystery?
Yes.
No, it's not at all like that.
A little bit.
No, there's no audience participation. It's just a straight drama.
With the full cast.
And there's plenty of dead ends and red herrings given out, and everybody's a suspect until the end of the play when the murderer is
found, right?
Becomes evident who the murderer is. And
how closely did you try to make it close to the book of Mousetrap?
Okay, when you do a play, there's copyright laws. You have to do it exactly as the script does. You can't change any of the dialogue or anything.
So this is the original script?
The only creative aspect you have is in how your actors, cast members, portray their characters, and in set design and whatnot, because not all stages are the same. You have to adapt your set to fit the stage that you have.
Okay.
So that's the creative process, but you can't mess with the script itself.
We can't change
You have
nothing.
to do it as it is in the script.
The original script as...
It's copyright laws. You can't change it.
All right.
Unless you get permission from the author or from Samuel French, who are the people who distribute the scripts.
Because that theater's been going on the play's been going on for a really long time, right?
Yes, the play has been playing since its launch in the early 50s in London. It's been playing there ever since. In that time in London, they've done over 25,000 performances with over 400 cast members playing the part, and it's the parts, and it's in the Guinness World Book of Records.
Oh, really? That's really good, though.
It's a famous play.
And you have a good honor of finally directing it yourself here.
Yeah. How that came about is that last year I threw my hat in the ring and say to the Milton Players, okay, I'll direct a play for you next year, because I hadn't done it in a couple of years due to job commitments and whatnot. And they said, okay, Steve, he said, if you want to direct, it'll be the middle play, because the first play we have the director is going to be doing it. We have a director for the last play. So if you want to direct the play, it'll be the middle play. So I said, fine. And he said, well, and I said, what is it? And he said, it's the Mousetrap. Myself, personally, if I was going to suggest a play, I wouldn't have suggested the Mousetrap for myself to direct, because it's more of a drama.
All right.
However, having said that, and got into the working on the play and studying it and preparing it to bring it to the stage, I realized that it was a very good play, and I'm quite happy to be doing it.
I guess you didn't do anything differently, like as you said before, that you had to follow exact how the play was directed. You couldn't change nothing, as you mentioned, right?
You can't change the script at all. So in terms of this play compared to other plays that I've done, as I said, I've done mainly comedies.
Right.
And this is more of a drama. And comedy is a little bit different in directing. You have to go for the laughs. You have to know where the laughs are going to be. You have to punch the lines so that you're going to get the laughs. And there's a lot of sight gags, probably.
Right, for sure.
There's not so much in this play because it's more drama.
Were there unexpected challenges that you had throughout, like when directing through the start, like the rehearsals, or any challenges like that?
Well, some of the challenge was that this particular play has a large cast. There's 8 cast members in the play. Most plays that a community theater group would do would tend to be on fewer cast members, say anywhere from 3, 4, 5, or 6. But this has 8 cast members.
This is really
so that's
usual.
A challenge in itself. Right from the beginning is to cast it. You have to get the people out to read for the play in order to cast the play.
Right.
Apart from that, where our rehearsal hall is, where we do rehearse, because we don't rehearse here,
Okay.
it's a much smaller space. It's about 1/3 the size here.
Oh, is that right?
So
Yeah.
if you spend 2 months rehearsing in a rehearsal hall, then come here,
It's a huge-
then the challenge is for the actors to adapt to the space, because they're going to find themselves walking sometimes twice the distance here as opposed to what they were doing at the rehearsal hall.
For sure, yeah. So how long is the Mousetrap playing in the Milton Centre for the Arts?
So it's, we opened last night on February 8th. We're doing tonight, and then again tomorrow, there's a matinee. Then the following week, we're going to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, is there a
that's
night show?
14th, 15th, 16th of February,
Oh, okay.
here at the Milton Centre of the Arts.
And lastly, closing up, do you have any future projects on the go?
No, I don't have anything slated, but I will be directing again sometime or other, either here or in Georgetown. More likely here, though.
And if you had an option, what other kind of projects, like, would you like to direct? What kind of plays?
As I mentioned before, I prefer comedies and North American comedy as opposed to a British comedy.
Right.
I feel that I'm better adapted to do the North American style comedy as opposed to British, which is a little bit different.
Have you written any of your own plays? Like
No, I've never written a play. I tried writing one once, but I didn't get too far on it.
Oh, is that right? So do you have a website or fan, like people can know more about your upcoming events? Or
Yes, that's, you can go to miltonplayers.com, and you can, when people go there, they can get links to the MCA here, and they also see what our upcoming productions are, and it's explains a little bit of what we do and who we are and how we go about doing it.
Oh, okay.
And it's all volunteer. There's no paid positions, and it's open to people who not only like to act, but who like to do the behind-the-scenes work, like the props and the costumes and the stage managing and the producing and the set building and all
Oh, is
that.
that so
That's
something
all-
for everyone?
Yeah, these are all aspects that are required to put on a production.
All right. Thank you much for your time. Good luck tonight at your show.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.